So I was watching the Celtics and the Raptors game last night, and the Raptors went with their lineup of death, which is Kyle Lowry with the second unit, and it got him out to an 18-point lead on the Celtics, which was around double digits with about 10 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. It seemed like the Raps had the game in their hands, and then Isaiah Thomas, as he has so many times this season, went frickin' God mode, especially in the fourth quarter. 19 points. He had more points in one quarter than, Brian Scalabrini's ever had. And he's done this more than a few times this season, Isaiah Thomas. And so the conversation is now, is he an MVP candidate? Yes, he is, 100%. He is perhaps number 3 behind Westbrook and James Harden. That doesn't mean he's the third best player in the NBA or anything, but in terms of what's happening this season and the carry job he's doing for the Boston Celtics, he's definitely up there. And who the hell knows, if he's able to continue these ridiculous scoring totals and jacking up the sliders all the way for him in the fourth quarter. I mean, some of the shots he makes in the fourth are just really damn stupid. With the pull-up jumpers and the way he goes one-on-one, and he'll just attack the teeth of the defense, even though he's 5'9". And the Celtics also do a very good job, and this is a testament to Brad Stevens, of running sets for him. They don't just give him the ball and say, okay, Isaiah, do something. They run off-ball motion for him that allows him to get open, and he's just killing it for him. But the question I want to have for this video, besides just Isaiah Thomas, is how scary are the Boston Celtics when it comes to the competition in the rest of the Eastern Conference? Let's start with Al Horford. In the month of January, I think he's had his best month. 16 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 48 from the field, and 40% from 3. And I want to talk about those 3-pointers for a second. He's been shooting a lot of them. He's definitely getting his shooting guard impersonation on, but he's been up and down all season on that outside shot. When it's going in, he's extremely difficult to defend because he and Isaiah Thomas run pick and rolls and pick and pops, and they'll do handoffs and stuff. And if it's not going in, it kind of hurts you, but when it is going in, it is damn difficult to defend. He's also been a very good roll man for the Celtics. He's just a smart offensive player overall. I wouldn't say he excels in any one thing offensively. Well, at least when it comes to putting the ball in the basket. But being good at pretty much everything makes Al Horford just a really quality offensive option, and someone the defense definitely has to pay attention to, whether it be rolling to the basket, hitting a jumper, posting up at times. He can't post up on everybody, but if there's a mismatch, he'll definitely go to it. He's just smart. He reads the situation well, and he just knows what the hell to do. So shout out to Al Horford. But the one thing I think he really is great at is his passing. He's averaging 5 assists this season, and some of it comes from the high post as they get him the ball and they'll run motion off of that. But other times, as I mentioned, he is the roll man in situations, and he's able to dribble down to the basket and then recognize who's open and then hit him for an open pass. And the Horford and Isaiah Thomas two-man game is very dangerous when both of them are able to make a pass. So if you want to bring help defense, good luck, you're going to have to do it well. And then defensively, he's still very good as well. Al Horford is definitely earning his paycheck for the Celtics as of right now, and it's a hefty one, and it might not look very beautiful 3 years from now, but as of right now, it's going well. Should also be mentioned, Jay Crowder is quietly having a near 50-40-90 season, as he's shooting 48 from the field and 43 from 3 and 85 from the free throw line or whatever. Crowder's just been an awesome offensive option who, if you leave him open, it's probably going to go in, which is another reason why the Celtics have been one of the best offensive teams this year. Avery Bradley, who's injured, so I have to show him in practice mode because 2K has the really stupid thing where if he's injured in real life, he's injured in the game. His offense has picked up as well. He's been able to create his own shot this year while averaging 16, 17 points a game. However, this team defensively has been a disappointment this season as they were great last year. And that starts with Amir Johnson, who was very good for them on that side of the floor a year ago and has been good there pretty much his whole career. 29 years old, he's been in the league for a while. It seems like he's beginning to decline when it comes to defense. At one time, an awesome pick and roll and help defender. it's just not really there as much anymore. And when you already have Isaiah Thomas, who is fantastic on offense, but is one of the worst defensive players in the league, not because of lack of effort, but because he's just 5'9", that's tough. If you have two guys who can't play defense, it doesn't really matter if you have someone like a Jay Crowder who can defend multiple positions and be physical on guys, and Al Horford, who's very good at recognizing when to switch and when to help, and trapping point guards on pick and rolls and moving around well in the paint defensively, as well as someone like a Marcus Smart and an Avery Bradley, who are both very good perimeter defenders. It just makes it too damn tough to overcome two guys who struggle on defense. Brad Stevens lately has been playing Jonas Jerebko at the 4 spot, who also doesn't give you much on defense, but at least he can shoot. So in that sense, he might be a better offensive option than Amir Johnson. Although I'm pretty sure Jerebko actually averages less points than Amir, but he's got the 3-pointer, so I don't know. I think it works out in the end, I assume. But the other thing that should be mentioned is the rebounding. This team is god-awful when it comes to defensive rebounding, and because of that, no matter how good your defense is, you're always liable to give up points, and I feel like that sort of thing can really hold them back from being a scary team in the postseason. A name that I've heard is Andrew Bogut, who has the weirdest hair/beard combination in the NBA. From a rebounding standpoint, he's been fantastic this year when he's been healthy. He's getting like over 10 a game, and he still has some decent rim protection. I think the Celtics could definitely give up a second-round pick for him, but they're going to have to improve defensively, because you can't go up against a team like the Toronto Raptors, who have been great on offense this season, in a 7-game series and just not show up on defense. Like, it's great that Isaiah Thomas can do so much for you in terms of fourth quarter scoring. You don't want to rely on that. You want to be able to just get multiple stops on a team like the Raptors, who, for a decent chunk of the season, were like first in offensive rating. I believe they're like number 3 at this point, but still, Kyle Lowry and what he does with his playmaking and his shooting, and then DeRozan's ability to go one-on-one, and then how deep of a team this is, you're going to need to play defense on them. And then we should also talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers, who have a couple of the toughest guys in the league to defend, with Kyrie Irving as well as LeBron James. Do I think the Celtics have a real chance against the Cavs? No. I think they could make it somewhat interesting against them in a 7-game series, maybe pushing it to 6 games, but I don't think they have a real chance. Also, it should be said, Iman Shumpert has done a very good job defensively against Isaiah Thomas over the years, and in the playoffs, when teams are going to be really focusing on trying to stop him, and they have someone like an Iman Shumpert who can just focus on Isaiah and do nothing else, you're going to have to overcome that. You're going to have the proper sets to get Isaiah moving to where he can get open, and I'm sure Brad Stevens can do it, but you're still going to have to make it happen. The Raptors also have a couple of guys like that as well, one of which is Norman Powell, another one is DeMarre Carroll, guys who are a lot taller than Isaiah Thomas, and if he's just killing them in a playoff series, they're going to be all about trying to stop him, and the Celtics are going to have to deal with that, and the rest of the guys on the team are going to have to be able to carry that offensive load, which up to this point they've been able to do with Horford and Crowder and Bradley and all that, but they still have to do it in the playoffs. I also think they could use a knockdown shooter off the bench. Gerald Green has not really worked out for them in that position this season. So there you have it with the Celtics. They're number 2 in the Eastern Conference right now. I think Isaiah Thomas is definitely an MVP candidate behind Westbrook and Harden. But that being said, I think this team, they still have some weaknesses that they're going to have to address, but I do think they have a chance against the Toronto Raptors. Cavaliers, that's a different story.